Now I'm going to show you how to do the purl stitch in the English style. And to do that, you can see we've knit across this row of stitches, and now we have our working yarn on this end. So in order to make this fabric, which is called stockinette fabric, we need to knit the front side of the work in the knit stitch, and then we call this purling back. We purl back to the beginning again. Knit across, purl back. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the work, and you can see all of my purl bumps here. This is what the purl stitch looks like. This is also called reverse stockinette. And what we're going to do, so in order to make a purl stitch, we're going to be wrapping it around the front instead of the back. So we're going to be inserting into the front of the stitch and wrapping the front instead of the back, like with the knit stitch. And I'll show you how that works right now. So we're going to load our yarn, right? And if you want me to do that slower, I can do that for you again. I'm going to wrap it around under my middle finger and over my index finger, but I'm going to kind of push it away for right now. For my first stitch, I actually like to insert my needle first, pinch it together, and then load my yarn. Just works easier for me. So what we're going to do, see, we've inserted into the front. Remember when we were knitting, we were going in the back like this. For purling, we insert into the front of the stitch like that. We're going to pinch like with the knit. We're going to wrap around, same motion. We're just wrapping into the front of the stitch as opposed to the back of the stitch. Pull it off. We're going to insert into the front of the stitch, pinch, wrap it around, pull it down, go into the back, pull it off. Insert into the front, pinch, wrap it around. See if I can do that so you can actually see what I'm doing. Wrap it around, go down, into the back, pull it off. So now we've got three purl stitches here, 1, 2, 3. I'll show you one more time. Okay, so let me show you what I just did. I brought my yarn to the back. When you're knitting, your yarn's in the back. So now I'm actually set up to do a knit stitch here if I wanted to, because my yarn's in the back. But since I'm going to continue purling, I'm going to move my yarn back to the front. Your yarn needs to be in front when you're purling. So I'm going to insert into the front, pinch, wrap around, down, go back, pull it off. And that is how you purl in the English style. See? Now, to purl Continental, there's actually a couple different ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way I was taught, but if you try it and it doesn't feel very comfortable for you, just hop on Google and do a little searching, because there's actually, I think, at least 3 different ways to purl in the Continental style. So I'm going to show you how I do it right now. So like I said, for Continental knitting, you're going to hold the working yarn in your left hand. So I'm just going to put that over on my left side to get that ready. I like to insert my needle first and then load my yarn. And when we purl, we always want to have the yarn in front. So as you can see, my needle is inserted into the front of the stitch as opposed to the back of the stitch for knitting. This would be to do a knit stitch. We're going to insert into the front of the stitch with our yarn in front. And then I actually need to load my yarn for Continental purling in a different way to add a little bit more tension. So what I do is I actually wrap around my pinky instead of just holding it in like I do most of the time, just squeezing it in between. I actually have to wrap it around because that's going to provide a little bit more tension for me. And then I do the same thing, wrapping it over my index, under my middle, and over my ring. But you can see it's actually wrapped around my pinky to provide me a little bit more tension. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to point my index finger down, insert the needle, and then I'm actually just going to rock my finger around and then point my finger back down. So you can see here, this is the wrap I just did. I'm going to go up with my finger, wrap it around and down. Pull that down. I'm still bracing a little bit with my thumb, same as I did for the first stitch for knitting. Slide it off. All right, let's do that again. Step 1, finger down, insert as if to purl into the front of the stitch because we're purling. Finger up, around and down. To the back, slide up and off. All right, let's do that a couple more times. Finger down, insert in the front, wrap it around and down, turn your needle to the back, slide it off. See, we've got 3 purl stitches now. Finger down, insert into the front, finger up and around and back down, needle to the back, slide it off. And then as you get more comfortable, you can increase your speed. As you go. And that is how you purl in the Continental style.
Hey guys, it's Sarah with Knit with Sarah, and I want to say thank you so much for watching one of my tutorial videos. If you like what you see, hit the like button down below and make sure you subscribe so you can be notified whenever I upload a new tutorial to my channel. Thanks again, guys. See you next time.